The most difficult aspect of elevation is cutting people off. And I know it's easy to cut people off who are negative and don't mean you well. But the hard part about cutting people off is removing people who are good to you, who have no bad blood with you, but just don't belong on your next level of elevation. Top of a team, Coach E, and you know what time it is. It's time to leverage your life. And if you don't know, your life is your business. And if you're not living the life that you desire and deserve, it's because you are not minding your business. And if you're not minding your business, it might be because you don't know what your business is. And if that's the case, it's okay. You're in the right place. Now, every relationship has an expiration date. Everything in life has an expiration date. In entrepreneurship, we talk about exit strategies. When you start a business, how you're going to end it. But there's some aspects of life where we don't like to think about the expiration date, like our relationships or our family members. Everybody's going to die eventually, and we're going to pass on, and we have to accept that and prepare for that. How it ends is the only thing that we can control. I'm married. There's an expiration date on my marriage, but it can either end in divorce or it can end in death. Mine is going to end in death because I decide that. But what I do know is that everything in life has an expiration date, even friendships and other types of relationships. Growing up, I had a friend that followed me from middle school to high school. And I'm not going to say this person's name, but this friend kind of just latched on to me. And the reason why they latched on to me was because I was a person that didn't reject anybody. I didn't make anybody feel uncomfortable. I wasn't a bully. I might have been better looking than you, more physically active than you, more athletic than you, but I wouldn't put you down. I will always lift people up. So being a person like that, people will latch on to you. And this particular person latched on to me, and he was nothing like me. He wasn't athletic like me. He didn't, get a lot of girls like me, but he seen I was a safe space, and I allowed him to be. And we went from middle school, and we kept, our friendship, and then from middle school we went on to high school, and we maintained that friendship. Well, eventually we graduated, and we went on to become men. I would have a woman, and I'll eventually marry her, and I would have kids. But even after all this time, he still had no woman consistently in his life, and he had no kids. But he always would keep in contact with me, and he always would reach out to me, and he would always want to do things with me. And for a while, I was like, you know what? Dude ain't never did no wrong to me. This dude ain't never relied on me. He never stole from me. This dude ain't never tried to fuck my girl or nothing. Like, no crazy shit. He ain't never did nothing to me that will make me consider him an enemy. So if he's not an enemy, obviously he's a friend, right? And as time went on, I started to realize something, especially when I wanted to elevate. I began to realize that the characteristics that I possess that he didn't possess made us different. And the fact that we had nothing in common was more pertinent now as adults than it was when we were children. See, as children, I didn't have like a lot of ambition towards what I wanted to be and do. So who I hung around and understanding the concept of you are the sum of the five people that you hang around with the most wasn't the concept to me. But now that I'm an adult and now that I'm in interrogating myself and looking at my life and putting it under the microscope, I'm looking at friends, I'm looking at diet, I'm looking at daily habits and activities. And I'm in this fork in the road with a friend of mine. And it hurts me because it's like, okay, I gotta leave this person behind. But usually when you cut people off, it's because they did something wrong to you. It's because they're a negative influence in your life based upon never being positive, always got a problem for a solution, them type of people. But this person wasn't like that. The only thing was that this person didn't have my same ambition, didn't have my same drive. And because of that, I got to a point, and there's no hard feelings if he's listening or seeing this, that I just stopped answering the calls. Now, a lot of people might say, man, that's heartless. We all humans. In our goal to obtain things in life, we shouldn't do that to people. We should still maintain our humanity. And I understand that. But you also got to understand something too. Why was I holding on to somebody that I had entirely nothing in common with? even when I first met the person, and even more so now. Let me give you an example. I'm a handyman and I put up TVs for people. And I go in a lot of homes. And some homes I go into, and I find people that still have DVD players. And they still have their DVD players connected to their older TVs. Now they buy new TVs and they still want me to connect the DVD player to the new TV. And they don't even use the DVD player. They have cable, they have internet, they don't have any DVDs, but they still have the DVD player. And all it's doing is taking up space and collecting dust. But it still works. There's nothing wrong with the DVD player. DVD player will play a CD or a DVD as soon as you put it in. But it just doesn't have any place anymore. So all it's doing now is taking up space. And so the individual that's holding on to the DVD player is just holding on to it because he just doesn't want to let it go. Not because it has any value, not because it's going to be put to use, but because they just don't want to let go. And a lot of us have relationships like that on this path to elevation. And I don't want to be heartless and call it dead weight, but we have relationships where there's things in our life that aren't broken, but they just don't have no purpose in our future. And they have to be removed. When you're on a roller coaster, there's some people that's scared of heights. So certain roller coasters they won't go on. You know what I'm saying? It's certain elevations they don't want to go to. And certain people are scared of heights to the point where they're not going to face it. When you look at elevation, you got to look at it as being scared of heights. And if you have somebody on the ride with you who's scared to go up, you have to stop and let them off. Now, this is the thing. You are not better than that person that you had to stop and let off. The fact of the matter is that the difference between you two is that that person is not willing to face their fear and you are. And that minor difference means that you have become two different people who no longer are going to be on the same or in the same car and on the same ride. Y'all might still both be in this life, but y'all not on the same ride no more. And we got to accept that. There's some good people in your life that have never done wrong to you, that are good, solid human beings, but they're just holding up space because they're not for your next level. And this is only for the people who are reaching for a next level and want to know what they need to do to get to that next level. It doesn't mean to become a asshole of a human being and just start cutting people off randomly just because they're not rich or just because they're not ambitious. But you have to reevaluate the way you deal with certain people because these people have an influence on your success. You may not just completely cut them off. If the person called, they have a family member that passed, you might go to their funeral. If it's, one time out of the year, you might say, hey, let me go catch up with them. But on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, no. But that's a difficult thing to do. And I'm not going to speak on it as if it's something easy. I'm not a robot. I'm a human being. If you never done me wrong, it'll be very difficult for me to cut you off. But the fact of the matter is, if I'm going here and you're scared of heights, I got to get you off because I'm ready to face my fear and you're not. And I'm not going to let your lack of ability to face your fear keep me at the same elevation. Now, I'm challenging you to change. You don't have to be away from me. You can come up here with me. You can become ambitious with me. You can come to this destination with me. But if you're not willing to come with me, I have to leave you behind. And it's no hard feelings. You have not become an enemy. You're just not a person that's going to be with me how you were on this next level. Just like the DVD player. It still works. I can still pop a DVD in and watch my favorite movie anytime. But we in a digital age, baby. We got the internet. I can stream. I can pull that shit out the sky. So I can save space on having a whole DVD collection. And I can save space on my shelf to possibly put a portrait instead of having a dusty ass DVD player sitting up there. For the simple fact that even though it's not broken, it still doesn't have any use anymore in this current stage of my life. Okay? So you got to start cutting people off, man. And you got to do it now. And I don't mean you got to make a formal call and say, hey, man, I can't fuck with you no more. But you got to give them hints to understand that we can't get down on the level we used to get down, because the new level I'm going to requires me to deal with people in a different way and to have a certain people around me. I am the sum of the 5 people I hang with. Sugar Free said, if I hang around 9 broke niggas, I'm the 10th. Bro, I ain't got nothing against you. But the only thing is, if you like being broke and I don't, then we got a very big problem here. Because you can be a good person, but there's an aspect of your personality and character that is not agreeable with mine. And that alone will cause us to have to part ways. And I ain't saying forever. I catch up with you. You got a birthday party, I'll slide through. But I ain't kicking it with you every weekend. We can't drink a beer and shoot the shit. We can't smoke a cigar at the cigar lounge and talk about life, because our conversation is going to be different. And I'm going to tell you something about negativity versus positivity. You can be the positive person as you want to be. Negativity has a pull on it because it's the path of least resistance that is more harder to resist. So it's better for you to put yourself in spaces where the positivity dominates. Because if you're trying to be the strong one amongst darkness, a lot of times the darkness will overtake you. Like I said, if I hang around 9 broke niggas, I'm the 10th. I'm not powerful enough to be that one non-broke thinking nigga to change the minds of 9 niggas that's constantly talking about broke nigga shit. Eventually, I'm going to cave in to the conversations, to the attitudes, to the moods, to the personality traits, because it's dominating. It's dominating the space. Cut people off. I know it's hard, but we got to. We, the people who want to be high achievers, we, the people who want to elevate, we're going to have to cut some people off. And the people that we cut off are going to be people that have not done anything wrong to us, but they're just not equipped to be on our next level. And that's just what it is. And these are the hard truths and realities that we have to come to as an adult who is properly governing our minds, who is taking stock of our life and doing self-evaluation on a regular basis. See, people that don't change over a 20-year time span are not doing any kind of self-evaluation. You wouldn't want to be with that person anyway. They're not reflecting on the lives and the decisions that they're making, and they're not doing anything to change. I'd rather have a person around me who life goes from riches to shit up and down for the past 20 years than a person that has been the same for 20 years. Because at least that person has shown evidence that he's tried to do something or he's attempted to be something, even if it failed. I hope this helps. And if it does, please like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know who you have to cut off. Let me know, the difficulties of cutting off. And we can discuss this topic together. And as always, if you can't learn from me what to do, you're going to definitely learn what not to. So don't be good. Be good at it.